Phil, you've been around for quite some time. Tell us your origin story. And what I mean is, where did you first encounter the ministry of John MacArthur?
It was at Moody Bible Institute 47 years ago. Hard to believe because it doesn't seem that long. He came to speak at a special week of chapels services for the students. I was an editor at Moody Press right there on campus. From the time he opened his mouth, I was transfixed. It was a message like I'd never heard. It was his famous message, God's will is not lost. And I remember thinking, he needs somebody to help him get this stuff in print. And from then on, every time I ever heard him, that was sort of my fantasy. I'd love to edit books for this guy.
Talk about the origin story of the organization that you've entrusted with Phil, and Phil has been stewarding. Let's talk about Grace to You. Where did it come from, and how did that come about?
Well, it really came about because people wanted to record the sermons. From the very outset, that wasn't done. There was no such thing as a cassette, let alone a CD or a download. So creating a recording of a message was challenging. There was a man in the church, one man in particular, who said, "I'll record your sermons and I'll do reel-to-reel copies at normal speed." And so we started out doing that in a very simple way, and eventually cassettes kind of slid into the picture. And once that happened, there was a shift to let's make tapes. That led to radio ministry, and it really, again, it was something we didn't plan.
We're on thousands of radio stations now. The footprint of our Spanish ministry is almost as big in terms of geographical regions and cities that we reach, almost as big as English. I say this frequently. There's not a time, day or night, any part of the weekday, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, somebody is listening to John preach.
Amazing.
For every one of those millions of people, there's a story.
Yeah.
There's a life story.